Hey guys, today we're going to be revisiting one of my first loves, the Evergoods CPL24. This is the third edition that has an updated fabric and Evergoods' new, more breathable back panel, and I was excited to have a chance to revisit this as I've been talking about the CTB26 quite a bit over the past few months. That has quickly become one of my favorite bags of all time, and it does have some bells and whistles that this bag does not, but it is pretty big for EDC. So I was excited to have a chance to revisit this more compact, streamlined size, which I was always a big fan of. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about my experience testing this over the past couple of weeks. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, talk through all the features, and I'll also talk about whether the CPL still holds up after all these years to some of the best EDC bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the overall aesthetic, the appearance here is pretty much unchanged from the previous edition, so it still has the minimal, subdued aesthetic that Evergoods is well known for. As the name implies, this is a crossover pack that's meant to work well in a variety of environments, so it's fairly minimal as far as the attachment points and the pockets that it offers on the exterior, which allows it to blend in well, whether you're taking it into an office setting, walking around the city, traveling, or taking this into the outdoors. As far as the materials, the bag feels really solidly built. This is one of the bigger changes between this and the previous edition is the 840D ballistic nylon that is now on the exterior. That has been upgraded from the 500D nylon that Evergoods used to use on their bags. We've seen this on the CHZ22 that we reviewed. And so far, it's been a fabric that has been very impressive. I like that it feels just a little bit more rugged while also providing extra weather resistance. And one of the best things about this fabric is that it doesn't attract as much hair and lint as the 500D nylon used to. And for this size of bag and the amount of padding that it has, it also manages to keep the weight pretty reasonable, coming in at around 3 pounds. And you of course have some very nice YKK zippers all throughout. Continuing along the outside of the bag, the CPL keeps things pretty minimal compared to the CTB26 and the CHZ. Both of those bags offer external water bottle pockets. Those unfortunately aren't present here. So one side is pretty plain. There's no handle or pockets. It's just a really clean exterior here. On the other side, you do have a large handle that makes it very easy to just reach down and grab the bag. This has been present on all the versions of the CPL. You have a similar handle at the top, and these have an aluminum stay that prevent the bag from sagging too much when you pick it up, and just makes it feel a little bit more reliable even when you're carrying a heavier load. The edges of this continue to be a little on the rough side. They're just kind of pointy and sharp, so if you're holding this for a longer period of time, you might start to feel a little bit of fatigue, but still feels very durable. I like that the handles stay pretty flush against the side of the bag. And then on these sides and near the top, you have a couple of attachment points that are going to allow you to pair these with a carabiner to hang on additional accessories, lights. I typically will hang my hand sanitizer or a hero clip, potentially even a water bottle since you don't have that external pocket. Moving into the capacity, the bag comes in at about 24 liters, which is kind of the sweet spot for me as far as the size of bag that I like to carry. It's able to easily hold all the items that I normally like to carry with me with a little bit of leftover space without feeling overwhelmingly big. It's a little smaller than the CTB26, which is the other bag that I've absolutely loved. It just has a slimmer profile. It's not quite as wide or tall, so it just makes a little more sense for EDC, and it doesn't feel a lot bigger than the CHZ22, for example. So really just kind of a nice middle ground from all of the different sizes that Evergoods offers. This also comes in a 28 liter size, but the 24 is the one that I gravitate towards the most. And I like with this bag that even when it's a little bit more packed out, it manages to maintain a pretty slim profile, hugs your back nicely so that it's going to be really easy to navigate crowded areas, jump onto public transit, and carry on to pretty much any domestic or international airline. Taking a look at the harness system, so far the bag has been really comfortable to wear. I've always been a fan of Evergoods harness systems. I like the amount of padding that they include in their straps. I feel really comfortable right out of the box. On the inside with this edition, there's been an update to the materials. So it includes something that resembles the monofilament fabric that's on the back that's going to give you just a little more breathability. The straps also have a nice width to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders when it's a little bit more packed out. And of course you have Evergoods' customary harness at the top, which kind of curves around your shoulders. It has this additional fabric here that allows it to come out. It also interacts well with the laptop compartment to really just shape around your body. I've always really liked the way that this sits on my shoulders. And then near the top, you have a couple of pass-throughs for a hydration bladder. This is another aspect of Evergoods' bags. This is really unique and useful. You have one on each side, and then an adjustable sternum strap to help distribute the weight. Moving into the back paneling, this has also been really comfortable. This is probably the change that I was most excited about from the previous edition. This is using the new, more breathable back panel that we saw on bags like the CTB26 and 35, as well as the CHZ22. So I've had many opportunities to test it out and use it over the past year, and I have to say I've been really impressed with the amount of breathability that it offers, especially compared to the previous editions of their bags. This is a big improvement. The material itself does a good job of providing breathability, and then you also have some gaps here to provide you with a little bit more airflow while you're walking around throughout the day. One final note while we're on the back paneling is that this does not include the luggage pass-through that is now present on the CTB26 and the CTB35. That's one of my favorite additions to those bags, is the ability to comfortably rest this on a suitcase while you're traveling. Kind of wish that this has been included, as it's a pretty perfect personal item size. But it's not there, so that's something that you'll have to keep in mind as you decide between the two bags. There are other ways to attach this to a luggage. You know, you could kind of get creative with the straps. For some suitcases, you might even be able to drape the handle over, although I don't like to do that as it places a lot of stress on this and I don't want to deform it. But it can work in a pinch, and if not, you can just wear the bag because, as I've mentioned, with the harness system, it's really comfortable. Jumping into the organizational options, this is an area where, to me, Evergoods has kind of set a new standard. First with the previous edition of this bag, and then they kicked it up another level with the CTB26. That one has some additional organization that's not present on this bag, but it was very interesting to revisit this more simple layout and see just how useful it still manages to be, even though it keeps things a little simpler. So on the front, you still have this vertically oriented zipper that's gonna be great for swinging the bag around and grabbing stuff when you want to get to it without having to take your bag all the way off. It also works well for when you're using this as a briefcase. You can reach down and grab whatever you need. Since the second edition of the bag, Evergoods included some really useful internal organization here. It's still present. Besides that, you have a good amount of volume, so this is a place where I'll sometimes toss a notebook or my tablet when I want to grab it a little more quickly. But on the inside, you also have a mesh zippered compartment. That's a great spot for smaller items that you don't want floating around loosely. And here at the moment, I just have my Samsung portable hard drive. But then next to that, you also have a larger slip pocket that's probably meant to hold a phone. But for me, this is a perfect spot for my lightning cable to charge my phone while I'm on the go. I actually have that in my pocket most of the time. And then up near the top, you have a slightly smaller slip pocket that is perfect for a pen or a flashlight. At the top near the yoke, you have another really useful quick access pocket. This is one of my favorites, both for the placement and the size. The amount of space that's offered here is really useful, even for something a little bulkier like my sunglasses. That's what I typically have in here with their case. I was also able to place my AirPods, since it's one of those items that I'm grabbing super regularly during the day, but just really useful compartment. And here you also have a lanyard with a little carabiner that's gonna be a great spot to attach your keys or a multi-tool. Up next, we have the laptop compartment, and this is an area where Evergoods has continued to improve over the years. I really love the implementation that they've gone with on the past couple releases that they've had. So they have this really large vertically oriented zipper, again just pairing very well with the handle so that you can easily reach down and grab it when you're carried in briefcase mode. At the top, you have a zipper garage so that you can properly close it and your device will be protected from the elements. And then on the inside here, you have the sleeve that's been present on many of Evergoods' recent releases, so it's got pretty decent amount of padding, and you have quite a bit of space in this compartment in addition to the laptop sleeve. So here, floating at the bottom, I actually just placed my tablet in here to keep both of my devices together, but definitely a good spot for some documents, folder, another notebook. This also has a zipper where you can access the frame sheet if you want to remove it. And then you have the laptop sleeve itself, which is pulled up off the bottom of the ground and protected in all directions. In addition to having the padding, this should be able to hold up to a 15 or 16 inch laptop pretty comfortably. Currently what I have is a 14-inch MacBook Pro. You can see there's still some leftover space at the top, and I'm able to get this in and out very easily. Now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. So not a huge change here from the previous edition. No soft lining or anything like that, but still a good amount of space even for a thicker device. And then you have the strap that you can use to secure your laptop while you're on the go. And of course, I love the touch that Evergood includes here. The Velcro on the inside so that you can secure this. Keep it out of the way if you want to make it a little bit easier to get your device in and out. And then this, of course, is an area where you could potentially store a water bladder, as there is access to these pass-throughs here from this area. Before moving into the main compartment, I wanted to call out one of the key differences between this and the CTB26, in addition to the external water bottle pockets and the size, is that it also has a quick access pocket on the front that is not present on the CPL24. It's a really useful compartment. You can kind of see how it maybe wouldn't fit as easily on this smaller bag. Kind of would have liked to have seen something included there. I've now been spoiled with it, but it's not present here, so you have a more minimal layout. As I was saying, something to consider if you're kind of on the fence between the two is how important that pocket is to you. With that being said, both bags do have a clamshell style opening, so this is always great for easier packing, particularly if you're wanting to use this as a minimal travel bag, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a second. And then, yeah, with 24 liters of space, it's great for handling bulkier accessories, all the types of things that I might want to carry with me. There's still leftover space, even with the items that I currently have in here. I could have placed maybe an additional jacket at the top, change of clothes. And I really like the simple bucket style layout of these types of bags. And so diving in, the first thing that I have at the top, because there are no external water bottle pockets, is a Yeti Rambler. This is the 26 ounce size, fits in there comfortably. You can, grab it from the top. This isn't in the same area as my laptop, so I don't have as big anxiety about water getting onto my sensitive device. Then I also have my Beat Studio wireless headphones. I have my DJI Mavic Mini, and I have the Evergoods Civic Access Pouch 2 liters. On the back of the compartment, same as the previous edition, you still have a really nice elastic slip pocket, which is going to be a great spot to hold a tablet, additional documents, folders. Could be a place to separate out some clothing. I really like the elasticity that it has, as well as the soft material that this includes. So it does offer some protection for a device, even though it's not really padded. It's really soft, stretchy. It's even pulled up a little bit off the bottom here. And then near the top, you have a couple of rows of webbing, which are going to be a great spot to just clip on pens, pocket knives, carabiners. I've also used this to attach different types of pouches, like the Tom Bin handy little thing pouch. It's kind of a perfect combo with its dual carabiner setup. I sometimes like to attach that to give myself just some added organization. And with the amount of space that's offered here, you could definitely use this for minimal travel. I've used the previous edition on many trips. I was easily able to toss in my packing cube, a dop kit, an extra pair of shoes, and use it for a longer weekend trip, or even up to a week if I was packing a little bit more minimally. And then moving on to the lid of this main compartment, you have a couple of really useful additional zippered pockets. At the top, you have kind of a secondary quick access pocket. It doesn't have any mesh, so it's a little more subdued, hidden, so you have something a little more sensitive, like some cash, your passport, anything that you don't want as easily accessible from the outside of the bag. This is a good spot for it. Plenty of volume here. With Evergoods bags, I always love to emphasize that their compartments have independent volume, so you can fill this area up completely, you can fill the front compartment up, and still take full advantage of this space. They do this so good. Glad to see that it hasn't changed with this third edition of the bag. And I placed a few items in here. You can see that there's still a lot of empty space. Currently what I have here is my Apple Magic Mouse. I have an adapter for my laptop, my tablet, and my phone. And then I also have a portable battery. Below that, you have a slightly larger zippered compartment. I like that this one has mesh, so you can see what's on the inside. It also allows you to really press it down and just get some of the air out if you're using this almost as a secondary packing cube, which I have done to hold some of my socks and underwear while I've been traveling. I like that this compartment has a vertically oriented zipper, so you can access it. If you just slide down one side of the zipper, you can reach in and grab whatever you need to. Again, independent volume here, so I'm able to use the front without impacting how much I can store here. And it's always impressed me how much volume and space this offers. In addition to the clothes that I mentioned, also a great spot for even some bulkier pouches or dop kits. Currently what I have in there is the Evergoods Civic Access Pouch 1 liter. And so just really love the amount of space and organization that's offered in this main area and throughout the rest of the bag. Even though I've been spoiled with some of the updates that were made on the CTB26, this continues to be one of my favorite layouts and aesthetics of any EDC bag that I've used. If you haven't had a chance to check one of these out and are looking for something comfortable and reliable, I definitely recommend you check this one out. If you're on the fence with some of Evergoods' other bags, again, if you need a little more space or if you want some extra pocketing on the front and the extra water bottle pockets, as well as the luggage pass-through, which isn't present on this bag, then it might be worth upgrading to the CTB26. It's just a little bit more. But if you like this type of a size of bag, you want something a little more minimal and clean, then this is gonna be a fantastic option to consider. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the updated version of the CPL24 over the past couple of weeks. You can currently purchase this on Evergoods site for about $279, which is definitely premium pricing. It is an investment, but you get a lot of value for the price as far as the build quality and the features, and it's gonna compare well to other similar bags in this price range. And so if you are a fan of the CPL24, I definitely recommend you take a look at some of the videos that I've done on the CTB26, which is a little bit bigger than this. It includes the water bottle pockets, the luggage pass-through, some additional organization, and is one of my favorite bags. I've done a couple of videos. The one that I recommend in particular is the one where I talk about why I think it's kind of the perfect bag and some of the closest alternatives to that. If you're looking for similar options, that's gonna have some great ones to check out. Also, the CHZ22, which is from Evergoods, has similar aesthetic, build quality. It's just got a simpler layout. It's got the water bottle pocket, so a great option. And also recommend taking a look at the videos that we've done for some of the recent bags from Air, like the City Pack Pro and the Pro Pack 24 liter that come in at a similar size to this, but they have a more modern and techy vibe, as well as Bellroy. The Transit backpack in particular has been one of my favorites. Like this bag, it's got a pretty minimal vibe, but it's a little more sophisticated and professional looking in my opinion. At 20 liters, it's also gonna be slightly more compact, which may work depending on your height or what you wanna carry with you on a day-to-day. Regardless, the CPL24 holds up really well against all those options, and if you're looking for a comfortable, versatile bag that has one of the best organizational layouts on the market, then I definitely recommend you check this out. And I'm curious to hear what you all think of the updates that Evergoods has made on this edition of the CPL24 and how it holds up to some of the other popular EDC bags that are currently on the market. If there's any similar options that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank the company for sending the bag for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.